From KMOV, News 4 is covering breaking news.
Good morning to all of you. I'm Claire Kellett.
And I'm Hepkins. It's Monday, August 11th. We begin with the breaking news this morning. We've had crews out all night long tracking the chaos and gathering these images out of Ferguson. SWAT teams out in full riot gear trying to stop looters targeting businesses along West Florissant.
Mobs of people pouring into the streets. All of this after a candlelight vigil for a teenager shot and killed by a police officer over the weekend. We've been seeing images like this here on your screen while you were sleeping. Groups of people gathering in the streets in Ferguson and at times getting violent. You saw just a few seconds ago someone kicking a police car as it drove by, someone else throwing something at the police car.
And look at that massive crowd you see there chanting at police not to shoot them, holding up their hands. All of this in outrage following that candlelight memorial held for this young man. 18-year-old Mike Brown, shot and killed by a police officer in Ferguson on Saturday afternoon. Now, St. Louis County Police are investigating, trying to figure out all of the events that led up to that deadly shooting. We begin our team coverage with Laura Hediger in Ferguson. Laura.
Hey, Claire and Andre, we are at the staging area, so while you do not see too many flashing lights behind me, I am at a parking lot, a Target parking lot that is just full of police officers, fire units. There's also a SWAT truck right behind me. I did just get an update from County Police. They tell me, as far as they know right now, no one is still in businesses looting in this area. And again, as far as they know, 2 police officers have been injured. They say one was hurt his knee overnight. Another one was hit with a brick. Not sure of how bad their injuries are. We are working to get an update. But so far, they think that this is now kind of the calm after the storm. It sounded like everything was really crazy between 10 and midnight. But you can see just police everywhere. We are working to get an update. I am just a stone's throw from a county police officer. He's about to walk over. I'll ask him some more questions, bring you live updates as soon as we get them. Claire and Andre will send it back to you guys.
Laura, I got a question for you while you're out there in the area. As you said, it does appear to be rather calm there. But talk about your drive from the station into Ferguson there. Were streets closed off? Did you see some people still holding some sort of peaceful protests?
We did not see any type of protest. As soon as we got off the interstate, we saw several police officers. There was one from Jennings. We saw county officers ushering us into where we are, this staging area. And we're actually in Jennings. We're still about a mile and a mile and a half away from Ferguson. But on that drive-in, I had a long time to talk to our overnight photographer, Britt Reese. He's been in his career 16 years, and he told me that overnight it was by far the craziest night he has ever covered, talking about all the people that were in businesses, specifically shoe stores. He said he saw a lot of shoe stores raided overnight and people just walking out with so many shoe boxes. He said he even saw people running from police. The police officers had their guns. He just said it was overall crazy. That is the word he kept using to describe it.
Laura, as you've been talking to us, we're rolling video of some of that looting video that we captured overnight. Have you seen any evidence of some of that unrest?
No, I haven't. You can probably see that there's a Foot Locker behind me. I am told that there was some looting through the back. Actually, while police were in this parking lot, looters went in the back of that Foot Locker. Not sure how many shoes or how much clothing they got away with. But yeah, they did that, as all these officers are right here. But the good news, police are confident that right now no one is in any businesses in this area. They think as of now it is under control.
Okay, and as Laura mentioned, 2 police officers injured overnight. Laura is in a great spot to get more information from authorities throughout the morning, and Laura will be interrupting us as soon as she gets that new information. Well, no doubt this is a huge story. A lot of things going on with it today.
And that's why you can depend on News 4 to keep you covered all morning long. At 10 this morning, St. Louis County Police are going to hold a news conference giving us an update on the investigation. Civil rights leader Reverend Al Sharpton also expected to make a trip to Ferguson. He says he wants to meet with the family of Michael Brown in person either tonight or tomorrow. The family also planning a news conference later today with their attorney. That's expected at 4 this afternoon.
We're going to get back to our team coverage of this in just a few minutes, but now we want to send things over to meteorologist Kent Earhart. Thankfully, a mild weather start to the day. Kent.
Yeah, it is a quiet start to the day. You can see that we do have some showers and thunderstorms down to the south of most of the viewing area. That does not include the Rolla and Phelps County areas where we do have some rain falling. This is all false returns at the center of your screen, but a spotty shower certainly possible as we go through the morning, especially to the south of town. Temperatures are near 70 for most of us, 66, one of the cooler spots right now in Warrenton, 70 degrees in Belleville, 72 in St. Louis, Centralia at 68 degrees. In the metro area, near 70 degrees, pretty common, 67 degrees in Alton right now, Creve Coeur at 70 degrees, and it's 70 in Belleville. Some patchy fog around. It's going to be a muggy start, 70 degrees nearabouts. We're talking about some spotty rain, mainly to the south. The winds are light this morning out of the northwest at about 5 miles per hour. And as far as the 7 days ahead, a chance of storms today, but then as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday, I think things will dry out a little bit. High temperatures a little cooler in the low 80s, so we get down back below normal. Most of the week looks pretty good. We get back to Friday, we got a pretty good shot at more showers and thunderstorms, so we're going to get some dry weather after today and a little bit cooler as well. And you can see that we get back into some thunderstorms as we head toward the latter part of the week.
Okay, thank you very much, Kent. Much more live team coverage of this breaking news we've been following all night long.
We've seen rioting, looting, police making several arrests, and we've also seen some news for property damage in all of this. We'll tell you more on what happened to one of our live trucks coming up.
Now, Andre Hepkins, Claire Kellett, meteorologist Kent Earhart, and traffic with Alyssa Reitmeyer and Captain Roger Brand. This is News 4 This Morning.
News 4 This Morning covering breaking news all morning long. Look at this new video to show you from overnight out of Ferguson. Crowds of people breaking into stores along West Florissant overnight. This is a video we captured of looters at Hibbett Sports and Kmart.
And we also got these images from right outside the Family Dollar store in Ferguson. The state SWAT team arriving. Police taking several people into custody.
We have several crews covering several angles of this local and national story.
Yeah, including our Laura Hediger live at the staging area of authorities this morning. And she has been talking with the St. Louis County Police Department. Joins us live with an interview. Laura.
Hey, Claire and Andre, yes, I'm joining you by Officer Brian Shellman with St. Louis County Police. Officer Shellman, really the first time I've gotten to talk to you much about this. So as of right now, what do our viewers at home need to know?
They need to know that the situation has calmed down a bit. We're still getting a few outlier calls as to people looking into and maybe canvassing some different businesses in the area. But we think that we have the looting under control for the most part.
Do you have any idea how many businesses were targeted overnight?
We really don't, because the last number I heard was 12, which is extremely low. I just heard of 4 or 5 more that they found in a strip mall. So we're trying to get those numbers together, and we will get those numbers, and we will give those to you as soon as we can.
Looking behind me, there's an overwhelming amount of police officers. How many municipalities, how many departments responded to all this overnight?
Yeah, so I'd explain that as in the law enforcement community, we put out what's called a Code 1000, and that's upgraded. It was upgraded tonight to a Code 2000. Code 1000 really calls for about 30 additional officers. So Code 2000, you double that. The Ferguson Chief of Police, Tom Jackson, called for that Code 2000, requesting about 60 more officers. On our papers right now, after speaking with our communications, there was over 210 officers on scene. That doesn't, it's probably closer to 300, because when people hear this that aren't documented, they're still coming to help. So I'd say it's probably closer to 300. We have 19 municipalities that are documented. I'd call that number probably closer to 25.
We just heard the police canines barking over here. You were telling me earlier that some officers were injured overnight. What are the extent of their injuries, and where are they from?
Yeah, luckily one of our guys was hit with a brick. I believe he had minor injuries, and another one may have sustained a knee injury, but I don't know how severe.
Any updates on shootings overnight?
We don't think that anybody was actually shot. However, all night our guys were hearing shots being fired. I know that your people heard shots being fired as well. So, but we think at this point, nobody's gone into a hospital saying that they had been shot, so we don't think that there's any victims of a shooting.
I've heard a chopper. I haven't seen it because the lights are off. One of our overnight crews said possibly shots were fired at one of your overnight or police choppers overnight.
Yeah, and we're sure that at least once the helicopter was getting shot at, and it could have been multiple times, 2 or 3.
What time was the height of when everything was the worst?
I'd like to answer that for you, but I really don't know because I wasn't on scene and I wasn't the quote boots on the ground with these guys. So I really don't know, when it sort of peaked. If I had to guess, I would say it was just watching. It was probably around 11 o'clock.
Where do you guys go from here?
Well, we just asked the community to look. We understand that emotions run high in these things, but we have our job to do, and our detectives have a job to do to find out exactly what happened 2 days ago. But when things like this happen and you have this many officers respond, it takes them away from doing their jobs, takes them away from their communities as well. So we just please urge the community to just give us time and we will do a thorough investigation and get this thing wrapped up.
And with time, though, there's still a lot of streets closed. It doesn't look like there's really a way for this target to be open whenever the sun comes up and normal business hours are supposed to begin. So today, what is the plan with opening streets and businesses?
Yeah, I think that would be better answered by Chief Tom Jackson of Ferguson because it's still his jurisdiction, although he will be working with our chief and our commanders as well. So I don't know that. I'm sure somebody behind me does. If I find that out, I will definitely let you know.
Is there anything else I didn't ask you that I should have that you'd like to include?
Not at this point. I think that we pretty much covered everything, and like I said, we're still trying to get arrest numbers for you and how many places were actually damaged, and once we get those, we'll pass them along.
My final question, I've been talking to some of my colleagues who've been in the business 16, 20 plus years. They said that by far this is the craziest night they have ever experienced. How has it been as a police officer and for some of the other officers you've spoken to tonight?
Yeah, well, I've been a policeman for 12 years, and I haven't seen anything remotely close to this. I've spoken tonight and this morning with numerous veteran officers who have 25 plus years, and they haven't seen anything like this. So that should tell you exactly what we dealt with tonight.
Officer Shellman, thank you so much. I know it's going to be crazy for you. We appreciate you speaking with us live here on Channel 4. I'll be checking in with Officer Shellman all morning, bringing you guys the latest updates from the police investigation here at this staging area. Claire and Andre will send it back to you.
Laura, thank you very much. A lot of information coming out of that interview. Hundreds of officers on the scene. He's still trying to tally up how many businesses damaged, but in his 12 years on the force, never seen anything like this.
Or veterans, 25
veterans.
plus years, nothing remotely close to this. So great perspective of what exactly our community is dealing with right now and trying to recover.
And speaking of perspective, we have our own perspective. Even our own News 4 crew targeted in Ferguson. Take a look at the damage that was done to our own live truck overnight. 2 of the windows busted out. This happened near Canfield and West Florissant, near the shooting scene. Our crews forced to flee for safety. Thankfully, no one was injured.
And we're learning there may be another threat looming for people in the Ferguson area. It centers around a group called Anonymous that launches cyber attacks targeting U.S. government and large corporations. Anonymous has now created Operation Ferguson, encouraging the community to take to the streets.
We have to take ownership, and I'm not saying black or white, we as a community have to take ownership for this, and that is the reason why I'm out here, because I want to show my part.
Operation Ferguson tweeted last night that Anonymous will only launch cyber attacks in Ferguson in direct response to any police abuse of protesters. The group is also calling for local lawmakers to pay attention and to take action.
Obviously, the continuing coverage is the big story this morning, and so we're going out of format, so we're going to get to weather whenever we can, and right now we're going to toss it to weather.
All right, let's take a look and see here on the radar the showers and thunderstorms off to our south, weakening. Still some rain falling in parts of Phelps County now. Not a lot of rain going on. Most of the light green that you see here, false returns, but an indication of an inversion and possibly some fog setting up before too much longer as well. This is the big picture. We've got a couple of fronts that will be impacting us over the next couple of days, and keeping temperatures down below normal, which is a good thing, and also drying us out a little bit as well. Temperatures near the 70-degree mark across most of the area now. Going to be a muggy, patchy, foggy kind of morning on the way in. We might even see an isolated shower, but I think most of that's going to stay down to the south. The northwest winds are light at just 5 miles per hour. High temperature today about 85 degrees. A few storms possible. I am not looking for a lot of rain today. Northwest winds behind the first front at about 10 miles per hour. And as we move forward from here, we are talking about very little in the way of the rain the rest of the week. Here we are at noon today, and again, just a couple of spotty showers with this second little impulse, but not a lot of rain expected through the evening commute. Tomorrow looks like a dry day. We start off dry. We'll be partly cloudy, maybe a few clouds at times. Should be a pretty decent day. As I mentioned, these temperatures will be going down below normal. We'll show you that 7-day forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you very much, Ken. There's other news to get to. New this morning, St. Louis police are investigating several shootings happening overnight. A 12-year-old boy is in the hospital after being shot in South City. It happened just before 10 p.m. at California and Cherokee. Police tell us an adult man and the boy were both shot in the back. The man is listed in critical condition. The boy is serious but stable. Police have no suspects at this time.
Less than an hour after that incident, a 43-year-old man shot in the 3600 block of Salina. That's about 10 blocks east of the first shooting scene, also in South St. Louis. The victim suffered several gunshot wounds to the torso. We understand he's been upgraded from critical to stable condition.
And police investigating a third shooting in North City. A man was shot in the 3900 block of North Florissant last night around 9:30. No word on his condition. We continue to follow an active scene this morning in Ferguson.
Hundreds of people outraged after a teenager was shot and killed by a Ferguson police officer this weekend. News 4 has a lot of new video from overnight and team coverage as SWAT team officers were busy holding back rioters and looters in Ferguson. Mike Colombo will have the latest update in 10 minutes.
Plus, classes begin today in the St. Louis Public School District, and some students will notice a few changes this school year. That story after the break.
421 Monday morning. Welcome back to News 4 this morning as we look live across the river into the Metro East. 72 degrees. Thankfully, a calm weather start today. Of course, News 4 covering the ongoing situation out of Ferguson. Our team coverage will pick up in just a few minutes. But first, there are some other headlines we got to get to this morning. Happening today, students across St. Louis will head back to school, and some will be learning in a familiar building that hasn't had kids in it for several years now. We are looking here at Carver School. The Midtown Pre-K through 4th grade school sits on Bell Avenue. Instead of continuing to lease the building for students in this area, SLPS renovated and reopened this building when the Imagine Charter Schools closed.
Also new this year for St. Louis public students, now every child qualifies for free breakfast and lunch. According to district authorities, 90% of the students qualify for the program, and due to that high percentage, no child will be turned away.
The St. Louis Crisis Nursery is getting a big donation thanks to the local community, to all of you, and to News 4. Last week, Sharon Reed, Jasmine Huda, Mike Colombo, Megan Danahay, and I were among more than 100 celebrity waiters and waitresses at the 24th annual fundraiser for the Crisis Nursery. Now, this organization is wonderful. They are dedicated to preventing child abuse and neglect, and they provide 24-hour emergency intervention. Well, we just learned everyone's efforts together have raised more than $87,000 for Crisis Nursery. Again, all to help local children.
Those children deserve that and need that help. All right, now we get to weather. Can't another day in the mid-80s?
Yeah, it's going to be a warm and humid day, and we have a couple of showers and thunderstorms off to the side. And I shouldn't overplay the humidity. It's not going to be all that bad, really, for this time of year. But you can see down to the south, we've had a few showers roll through, and up to the north, we have a couple of showers. So we've got two fronts at work on us here, one to the south and one still well up to the north. This one's going to have a hard time generating much when it swings through. But the bottom line is, this stuff is going to sweep through the area and drop our temperatures down a little bit, keep the humidity in check most of this week. It looks like it's going to set us up for a pretty good week. A little bit unsettled at times today. but not too bad. Temperatures near 70 this morning, and again, it's muggy. We're seeing some patchy fog showing up too, so be prepared for that possibility as you drive in. Alton is 67, Festus at 73, Shiloh at 70 degrees, O'Fallon, Missouri at 70 degrees right now as well. So muggy, patchy fog, little spotty rain to the south, not a lot of it. Northwest winds at 5 miles per hour. They're pretty light this morning. Looking for a high this afternoon in the mid-80s with a few storms, but again, I'm really not looking for a lot of rain today, and really this week looks mostly dry till we get to the latter part, unfortunately. 85 with a chance of storms today. 81 on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's not bad. 84 on Thursday. Friday we get into a pretty good rain chance. Saturday too, unfortunately. Looks like we've got a shot at some showers and thunderstorms, and then back to, well, not 876 degrees, 87 degrees for the high. Yeah, that would be bad. 87 on Sunday.
All right. Thank you, Kent. Well, News 4 wants to get back to the breaking story we've been following. Actually, a tense situation in Ferguson this morning.
Yeah, police from Ferguson and throughout St. Louis County called in last night as looters broke into dozens of businesses. Our Mike Colombo is following the latest.
Yeah, Andre, I am live outside the Hibbett Sports off New Halls Ferry. You can see the damage to the front window behind me. This morning, there are shoe boxes that litter the parking lot here. We will show you some amazing video from overnight and bring you the very latest details from here in Ferguson.
Live from KMOV, News 4 is covering breaking news.
Good Monday morning to all of you. I'm Claire Kellett.
And I'm Andre Hepkins. It's Monday, August 11th. We begin with the breaking news we're covering all morning long. We've had crews out all night long, tracking the chaos and gathering these images out of Ferguson. SWAT teams in full riot gear, trying to stop looters targeting businesses along West Florissant.
Mobs of people just pouring into the streets, as you see, in all of this after a candlelight vigil for a teenager shot and killed by a police officer over the weekend. We've been seeing images like this while you were sleeping over and over again. Groups of people gathering in the streets in Ferguson and at points getting violent. You just saw a few seconds ago someone kicking at a police car, others throwing items at police cars, all while they were driving by the crowd.
And look at that huge crowd there chanting at police not to shoot them as they hold up their hands. All of this in outrage following that candlelight service held for this young man. We're talking about 18-year-old Mike Brown, shot and killed by a police officer in Ferguson Saturday. Now St. Louis County Police are investigating, trying to figure out all of the events that led to the shooting. We begin our live team coverage now with Mike Colombo in Ferguson.
Yeah, Andre, right now I am live at the Hibbert Sports location off New Halls Ferry, and what was supposed to be a peaceful evening in Ferguson, you see, turned into anything but a peaceful situation. The front window to this Hibbett Sports broken out. There is apparel just strewn throughout this entire store here. In the parking lot, you can see empty shoe boxes that the looters left behind. But what we really want to show you this morning is this video. Take a look. You're going to be able to see people running out of this Hibbett Sports with arms full of shoe boxes. Take a look there. You're going to see several people, upwards of 5 from my count just in the video that we're going to be showing you right here, running out with arms full. Again, there are not many more details that we can show you right here than what you're looking at. I mean, the pictures tell the story. Police here, as you'll see in a moment, get on scene and try to get control of what they can, but you really can see that the people here have just parked out in front of the building, and they were sending crews in to just get as much as they could, coming out and putting stuff in those cars and running away. Again, police coming in there with guns drawn, able to take a few of the people who were participating in this looting into custody. This is a story that obviously we have followed all weekend long. It took an even more violent turn last night. Again, the situation continuing to escalate. Right now, there is peace here at this shopping complex where the Hibbett Sports is. We will be here throughout the morning to give you the latest updates and continue to show you more of that incredible video from overnight. Claire, Andre, back to you.
All right, Mike. Thank you very much for showing us those dramatic images at that Hepkins sports store.
Now we're going to pick up our team coverage. It's one of those mornings where we have a number of crews covering the story, and that includes our Nick Zervos. And we are looking at live pictures from his car right now as he travels on West Florissant. And Nick, I understand you have been out there for hours overnight. To give us an idea of what you've been seeing the past few hours.
I have. I've been out here clear since midnight. I'm driving up north on West Florissant from Lucas and Hunt, and there's a lot of trash on the streets, a lot of bricks, things, glass, just trash that people threw around down toward Lucas and Hunt. I mean, it looks like a war zone around here almost. You'll see spotty stores. You'll see the Quick Trip is all burned out. You'll see spotty stores with broken doors. They haven't been boarded up yet. I am heading toward the Sam's up on West Florissant right now. I was up there earlier, and there were shopping carts spewing all over the parking lot up there. And the police, when I pulled up on the lot, actually pulled their guns out on me and told me to back out slowly and go away. And it's because, you know, things were so tense here last night. And I've never had that happen to me before like that. I identified myself as Channel 4, held my sign out the window so they could see it. They didn't care. They just wanted me off the lot because the situation was so bad. A lot of people hanging out and stuff like that. But I should be in the next couple of minutes over here at the Sam's, and we'll see what that parking lot looks like now. Back to you guys.
Nick, a lot of perspective in that story you just told us. You've been covering news here in the St. Louis region for some 20 years or so. Could you rate this story in terms of the stories that you've covered? Can you hear me? Nick, you've covered a lot of stories here in the St. Louis region. Can you rate this story in all of the stories that you've covered in St. Louis? Where does this stand?
This is probably one of the most bizarre, scary, really difficult stories to cover because of everything that's happened. I'm pulling in here to the Walmart and Sam's right now. I want you to see, I don't know if you can see it with my camera, but there are shopping carts everywhere, and I'm gonna pull up here and show you right now so you can see all this. I'm just gonna go slowly through this parking lot.
Yeah, we can see it, Nick.
And you'll see a camera guy here with a different station, and see all those shopping carts there. It's just trash everywhere. Shopping carts. There's a bicycle sitting out here. There's TV boxes with big screen TVs that obviously someone stole and just took with them. The police are still standing by here. Brand new bicycle sitting out here. Someone tried stealing. I see wine bottles, brand new bottles of wine, beer everywhere. There's another TV box over here to the right. It's incredible the stuff that was stolen out of this Sam's and Walmart here. It's amazing not more people got hurt. And let me go over this next section. Yeah, look at all these shopping carts just thrown all over the place like a tornado came through here. It's just amazing. It looks like people just took things and just left what they could behind and stole the rest while the police were coming at them or something. But I've never seen anything like this in St. Louis before. You see this in towns like LA and New York, stuff like that, but you don't see it here in St. Louis. This is something to see.
Wow, Nick Zervos, photojournalist, showing us those images from Ferguson and giving us that perspective from his long journalistic career here in St. Louis.
Now we're going to send things to our Laura Hediger, where she is stationed this morning, is right near authorities. So she is our crew getting the latest on where things stand as far as the police perspective. She's live this morning. Laura?
I am, Claire, and in fact there's actually been quite a bit of movement in just the last 10 minutes. You'll probably be able to see quite a bit of heads over there. Those are all St. Louis County police officers. They are being rebriefed. They started walking over there about 4:15. I watched them as they did. I didn't count them exactly, but ballpark, it looked like at least 50 officers were walking over there. Also, we heard that the family of Mike Brown was still on this scene. We have not been able to locate them if they are still here. We will be working to do that throughout the morning. But as we show you some video, I will tell you what St. Louis County Police Officer Brian Shellman just told me in the last 20 minutes. He says as of now, they have had calls for 12 businesses looted, but he says there will be much more to come as they find them this morning. Keep in mind just how many departments and municipalities.
Yeah, well, I've been a policeman for 12 years, and I haven't seen anything remotely close to this. I've spoken tonight with, and this morning with, numerous veteran officers who have 25 plus years, and they haven't seen anything like this. So that should tell you exactly what we dealt with tonight.
Laura Hediger talking with Brian Shulman of the St. Louis County Police. He's saying that he's been on the force for 12 years and never saw anything like we've all witnessed overnight here in the St. Louis region.
And about 300 officers had to be called in overnight, and they were expecting about 200 or so, but then they said officers who even weren't supposed to report were going to the scene there to help out. So we're going to check back in with Laura in just a bit, as well as our other crews in the Ferguson area. But now we're going to send things over to meteorologist Kent Earhart, and thankfully 72 degrees, calm start to Monday weather-wise.
Nice quiet start to the day. Yeah, we had a couple of showers that rolled through Rolla and Phelps County. They'll head down toward Iron and Reynolds County. This is nothing too heavy. That's the leading edge of a front that's actually pushing through here. Going to make some pretty good weather this week for the most part. It's actually two fronts. This first one has kind of moved through the metro area and is sliding through the southern parts of the viewing area. This second one will move in today. I don't think it's going to have a lot to work with, but it may generate a couple of showers or thunderstorms. The bottom line, though, is it's going to pave the way for a pretty good week. Temperatures are right around 70 degrees. Edwardville and Eureka at 69, 70 in Creve Coeur and Fenton, also in Belleville right now. The 68 in Troy, Missouri, and also over in Centralia. Some patchy fog around this morning. The temperature near 70 degrees. The winds are light out of the northwest at about 5 miles per hour. And again, we're seeing some spotty showers down to the south coming up. We'll play that out for you on the Super Predictor, show you how we get rid of these rain showers in the morning. Probably see a few spotty storms by this afternoon. And again, we'll show you that on the Super Predictor coming up.
All right, Kent, thank you. We have also seen some news for property damaged in Ferguson. More on what happened to one of our live trucks coming up.
We are live in Ferguson from the Quick Trip, where you can see extensive damage here this morning. Police just reopening this area to traffic. We'll tell you more about it as soon as we come back from the break.
We're covering breaking news all morning long here on News 4 this morning. Look at this new video to show you from overnight out of Ferguson. Crowds of people busting into stores along West Florissant overnight. This video we captured of looters at Hibbett Sports and Kmart.
We also got these images from outside the Family Dollar store in Ferguson. Take a look here. The state SWAT team arriving and police, as you see in this image, taking several people into custody.
We have several crews covering several angles of this huge story right now. And now we're going to go to Emily Rao, also live in Ferguson. Emily.
Good morning, Claire and Andre. We are on the parking lot of the Quick Trip. I'll go ahead and step out so you can see just how extensive the damage here is. You can see smoke still coming from the roof here. This Quick Trip was on fire earlier in the night. Everything under control for now. There are no officers on the scene here. They just reopened this and allowed us to come over. But just look at the damage. And we have video from earlier over the weekend yesterday.